Hey everyone, and welcome to a deep dive into a piece of royal history. It's captivating as it is beautiful. It's the Queen Mother's emerald flower spray brooch.
A brooch?
Now, you might be thinking a brooch, really. But trust me, this isn't just any old pin. We're about to uncover a story with wartime resilience, decades of mystery, and the legacy of a remarkable woman.
What I find so intriguing about this piece is that it's like a window into royal symbolism. It's not just about aesthetics. It's about sending a message, marking a moment in history. And this particular brooch has quite the story to tell.
Before we jump in, I'd love to hear your initial thoughts. What comes to mind when you picture a really special piece of jewelry? What gives it that extra something?
For me, it's the stories they hold. You think about it, each piece has passed through hands, witnessed events, maybe even influenced history in subtle ways. And the Queen Mother, known for her elegance and collection, certainly understood that power.
Absolutely. And speaking of power, let's talk about the design of this brooch. We're talking 3 large emeralds nestled in golden petals.
Accented by brilliant diamonds. It's a visual feast, isn't it? But I'm curious about the symbolism behind those choices.
Okay, let's unpack that. Emeralds, especially in the context of the British monarchy, have been associated with power and prosperity for centuries. Think back to the crown jewels. Those vibrant green gems have always held a prominent place.
Right.
And then you have the diamonds, symbols of purity, strength, and that enduring line of succession.
So it's not just a beautiful adornment, it's a carefully crafted statement.
Yeah.
And speaking of statements, the first time this brooch appeared in public was 1940.
Oh, wow.
Right in the thick of World War II. That seems pretty significant, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It's fascinating to consider the context. Britain was facing immense challenges. The world was in turmoil. The Queen Mother, alongside King George VI, chose to stand as symbols of resilience, of unwavering strength in the face of adversity.
So wearing this brooch wasn't just about fashion. It was a subtle yet powerful message to the British people. Precisely. Imagine seeing the Queen Mother adorned with these sparkling symbols of enduring strength and prosperity at a time when hope felt fragile. It was a visual reminder of the values the monarchy represented, a message of, we will not be broken.
And that message was amplified by the fact that emeralds in particular have this long-standing connection to British military tradition.
That's a fantastic point. We often see emeralds incorporated into military regalia, medals, and insignia. So by wearing this brooch, the Queen Mother wasn't just invoking general concepts of strength and resilience, she was tapping into a very specific visual language that resonated deeply with the British people at that time.
It's amazing how a single piece of jewelry can carry such weight, such multi-layered meaning. But then, as you know, this brooch vanishes from the public eye for decades. Where did it go? What happened?
It's a bit of a mystery, isn't it? The historical record is surprisingly silent on this period. Some speculate it was a deliberate choice to safeguard the brooch during uncertain times. Others suggest it might have been quietly loaned out for private events. We simply don't have concrete answers, which adds a layer of intrigue to the story.
It makes you wonder what other secrets those royal vaults hold, right?
Yeah.
But then in the 1990s, the brooch makes a surprise reappearance.
And what a reappearance it was. Imagine the buzz, the excitement, when people realized this piece of history with its connection to the Queen Mother and that pivotal period in British history was back in the public eye.
Yeah.
It was a tangible link to the past, a reminder of a beloved era.
It's interesting how objects can spark that kind of collective memory.
Right.
That emotional connection. It makes you wonder what resonated most with the public. Was it the beauty of the brooch itself, the symbolism, the historical context, or maybe a combination of all those things?
It's likely all of the above, but I think the timing played a role as well. The 1990s were a time of significant change and reflection for the monarchy.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing this brooch reappear, linked to a figure like the Queen Mother, who represented stability and continuity, might have felt particularly poignant for many people.
It's like this brooch became a symbol not just of the past, but also of the monarchy's ability to adapt and endure through changing times. Okay, so we've got this stunning brooch laden with symbolism that makes a dramatic reappearance. But the story doesn't end there, does it?
Not at all. After the Queen Mother's passing in 2002, the brooch, along with other cherished pieces from her collection, was inherited by Queen Elizabeth II. But even she, with her vast and historic collection, only wore it publicly once.
Only once.
Yeah.
That's surprising. Why wouldn't she wear such a remarkable piece more often? It's such a statement piece, and it clearly held significance for her mother.
Here's where we delve into the fascinating world of diplomatic jewelry, as it's often called. For monarchs, jewelry isn't simply about personal adornment. It's a carefully considered tool used to convey messages, honor relationships, or even subtly reflect political stances.
So Queen Elizabeth's single public appearance with the brooch might have been a very deliberate choice connected to a specific event or diplomatic message.
Exactly. It might have been chosen for an occasion where its symbolism resonated perfectly, or perhaps to honor a specific guest or visiting dignitary.
Right.
We can only speculate, but it's clear that each appearance of a piece like this is carefully planned and imbued with meaning that goes beyond aesthetics.
It makes you realize that every piece in the royal collection has a story, a purpose. They're not just beautiful objects, they're threads woven into the tapestry of the monarchy itself. And this brooch, with its journey through war, its disappearance and reappearance, it embodies that idea perfectly.
Couldn't have put it better myself.
Before we move on, I want to pose a question to you listening. What aspect of this brooch's story has captured your attention the most so far? Is it the dazzling design, the layers of symbolism of its wartime debut, or perhaps the mystery surrounding its disappearances and reappearances? Let those thoughts simmer because we've got plenty more to uncover.
It's fascinating to consider how this brooch, crafted with such artistry and intention, has taken on a life of its own, wouldn't you say? It's journeyed through war, vanished for decades, reappeared to captivate the public's imagination, and now holds a place of honor within a collection admired around the world.
It really sparks the imagination, doesn't it? When you think about the events this brooch has silently witnessed, the conversations it's been a part of, it's almost like a character in a historical drama quietly observing the unfolding of history.
I love that analogy. And it makes you wonder, what will the next chapter hold for this remarkable piece? Who will wear it next and on what occasion?
Those are great questions.
Yeah.
Will we see it at the next royal wedding, perhaps? Or maybe a coronation? Events of that scale seem fitting for a piece with this kind of historical and symbolic weight.
Such grand events would certainly provide a fitting stage for this brooch to shine, but then again, its rarity and the air of mystery surrounding it might make it even more impactful if reserved for something truly extraordinary, something we can't even anticipate yet.
That's an intriguing thought. Maybe it'll be saved for a moment of national celebration, a pivotal diplomatic event, or perhaps even a quiet, private moment of remembrance. Who knows what the future holds?
Precisely. And that's what makes this brooch so captivating. It's a tangible link to the past, a reminder of the enduring power of symbolism, and a testament to the way objects can become intertwined with our collective memory.
This whole deep dive has really highlighted that point for me.
Yeah.
It's made me realize that these pieces aren't just about sparkle and grandeur. They're about stories about the people and events they represent, the values they embody.
Beautifully put. And the Queen Mother's emerald flower spray brooch, with its unique blend of beauty, history, and mystery, embodies that idea perfectly.
Speaking of the Queen Mother, you've mentioned her legacy a few times now. What aspects of her character do you think are most vividly reflected in this brooch? And what do you think she'd want people to remember most about her?
That's a wonderful question. I think it goes beyond the jewelry, though the brooch certainly reflects aspects of her character. She was known for her unwavering strength, her quiet dignity, and her deep connection to the people.
Yeah, she was a constant presence throughout so many pivotal moments in history, offering reassurance and support even during the darkest of times. She had this incredible ability to connect with people from all walks of life.
Precisely. She navigated those challenging times with grace, resilience, and genuine empathy. I believe she'd want to be remembered for that strength of character, for her unwavering belief in the human spirit, and for the grace and kindness she extended to everyone she met.
And the way she chose to wear this brooch during a time of war seems like a perfect encapsulation of those qualities. It was a subtle yet powerful message of resilience and hope delivered with her signature elegance and grace.
Absolutely. It speaks volumes about her understanding of the power of symbolism and her commitment to using her position to uplift and inspire others.
It's amazing how much we can learn about someone through the objects they cherish and the way they choose to use them. This brooch isn't just a beautiful piece of jewelry. It's a window into the Queen Mother's heart and soul.
Beautifully said. It serves as a tangible reminder of her enduring legacy, a legacy that extends far beyond the sparkle of diamonds and the rich hues of emeralds. It's a legacy woven into the fabric of British history, and one that continues to inspire us today.
And as we move towards the end of our deep dive, I find myself reflecting on something you said earlier about the brooch taking on a life of its own. It makes you wonder, what stories will it tell in the future?
That's a question that lingers, isn't it? What new chapters will be added to this brooch's already fascinating journey? We can speculate, imagine, and anticipate, but ultimately its future is as shrouded in mystery as some of its past.
And perhaps that's part of its allure. This brooch, with its blend of beauty, history, and intrigue, invites us to connect with the past, ponder the present, and imagine the possibilities that lie ahead.
It reminds us that history is a living, breathing entity, constantly evolving and revealing new layers of meaning as time goes by.
Yes.
And who knows, maybe someday, years from now, we'll revisit this conversation and marvel at how the tale of this brooch has continued to unfold.
It's incredible how a single piece of jewelry crafted so long ago can spark such a deep and insightful conversation.
It speaks to the enduring power of objects, doesn't it? They have this remarkable ability to connect us to the past, to tell stories that transcend generations, and to remind us of the people and values that have shaped our world.
And in the case of the Queen Mother's emerald flower spray brooch, it's not just about the historical significance, it's about the woman herself. Her strength, her grace, her ability to connect with people on such a profound level. It all seems woven into the very fabric of this piece.
It's like her essence is somehow captured within those sparkling emeralds and diamonds. It's a reminder that behind every historical object, every symbol of power and grandeur, there's a human story waiting to be discovered.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the Queen Mother's emerald flower spray brooch, I have one final question for you listening. What do you think the Queen Mother would make of the enduring fascination with this piece? Do you think she'd be amused, perhaps even a bit surprised? Or would she see it as a natural extension of the messages she sought to convey through her carefully chosen attire?
That's a wonderful question to ponder. Knowing her keen sense of history and her understanding of the power of symbolism, I imagine she'd find it quite fitting. She was a woman who understood the importance of legacy, of leaving behind a story that would inspire and resonate with future generations.
And this brooch, with its journey through war, its mysterious disappearances and reappearances, and its connection to such a pivotal figure in British history, certainly embodies that idea of a lasting legacy.
It does, doesn't it? It's a reminder that sometimes the smallest objects can hold the most profound stories, and those stories, like the sparkle of a precious gem, have the power to captivate us, inspire us, and connect us across time.
Thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey into the world of royal history and symbolism. We hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into the Queen Mother's emerald flower spray brooch. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep those aha moments coming.